Hello and welcome to the podcast. I am your host Donna. Join me as we deep dive into real and raw conversations about love, life, money and business. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. So today I'm going to be talking about the next version of you, a phrase that is used a lot in the personal development world and, even by myself. And I think even though I use this phrase a lot and it's something that I teach my clients, at the same time, I kind of don't believe that there is a next version of you. And I think the reason why we say next version of us is because we are so disassociated from what that looks like to us. So we think that it's something outside of us rather than something that already exists within us, because the distance of the results that we have now versus the results that we actually want feel so far away. So we go, ooh, it's that next version. It's over there, because it feels so far away from anything that we currently have in our life right now, right? So one of the things that I really kind of want to present to you guys today is that there isn't necessarily a next version of you. The version of you that you think exists is actually within you right now. But the reason why we say next version is because it just feels so far away from us right now. It feels like, to have that ideal relationship, or to have that booming business, or to have that next step up in our career, or whatever your goal is or your aim is, it feels far away. So we feel like it's another version of us. Now, one of the most powerful exercises that I do with a lot of my clients, like in fact, actually every single one of my clients that I've ever worked with, I always do this exercise with them. It's called Next Level You. And the reason why I do this exercise with them is because I want them to realize that this next version, quote unquote, of them is already inside of them. So if you think about it for a moment, think about the one thing that you want. So it might be a relationship, it might be booming business, it might be more clients, it might be more money, it might be next level in your career, whatever that might be. Take a moment to think of whatever that thing is. Even pause this if you need to have a think about that. Once you've kind of got that thing in your mind, then what I want you to do is I want you to think about what it would be like to have that thing. So if you were in that ideal relationship that you want, who would you be being in that relationship? And who would this other person that you're attracting into the relationship, be being as well? What sort of things would you do together? How would you honor each other? How would you nurture each other? What would that look like? And then I just want you to take a moment as you think about all of this, and this is the third part, is to sit there and think about, well, what of that am I being right now without that person being currently in my life and physically present? How much of that am I already being? Same sort of thing when it comes to your business or your career or your wealth or whatever it is. So let's just take wealth for a moment. One of the things I know that happens so often, because I've coached so many people through this, is that people don't have awareness around their money, right? But they want more of it. But they dig their head in the sand, which is exactly what I used to do too, because it's like, oh, it's too scary to look at, right? But if you think about it, the person or the version, quote unquote, of you that has the money that you want probably is nurturing their money, because they know if they look after their money, they know that they're aware of where their money is coming and going, that they're going to be more likely to attract more of it, right? So you want to think about what that missing gap is. Think about what is the goal, first of all. Secondly, what does that look like? So what does that version of you look like? And what is it that they're doing that you're not currently doing right now? Because the thing is, guys, is that you need to be this next version of yourself. You need to do the things that they would do to have the things that they have. So it's almost like a massive identity shift around this, because you have to almost kind of take on the energy of being this person already and then doing what they would do before you even know that result's going to, come up. It's kind of like, just having massive faith around the fact that that thing is going to show up if you do this, right? But the thing is that on some level, we all seem to know that that's what we need to do. On some level, we know that that version of us is behaving a certain way that we're not behaving. And so it's like, okay, cool. So we jump on the bandwagon, we might go do it for a couple of days, maybe even a week, and then we start to fall off the bandwagon. So it doesn't feel that simple, right? And the reason why it doesn't feel that simple is because we've not yet taken on the identity of that yet. So we don't feel like that we've built that into our identity right now, or we have unhealed wounds. And so we don't know how to connect to that identity. So what I mean by unhealed wounds is like, for example, we may know that that version of us who runs a successful business puts themselves out there, even in really vulnerable situations, really takes that risk, takes that leap of faith. But we won't do that. Why is it that we're not doing that? Potentially because we don't have the identity of that, because we have the unhealed wounds of maybe it was never safe to take risks in the past. Maybe if we look at our tribal stuff, we look at, say, for instance, we've taken a risk in the past, when we were kids or something like that in our imprint years. Perhaps it's been that you've done that and you got in trouble from mum and dad or teacher or something like that. And so you've made it mean that it's not okay to take risks, right? Or you've been too silly and playful as a kid, and so you've been told that you need to settle down, and so you've lost that playfulness, and then you go to run a business and the business is all serious, and it feels really hard and heavy because there's no playfulness in it, right? So we lose those things that are actually quite important for us as adults through these wounds that we have, through these unhealed things that we have, right? So the reason why I share this with you guys is because to have the things that you want to have in this so-called next version of you, we need to be and do those things, but we can't be and do those things that they have already until we are willing to step back and go, well, what is the reason why I'm not doing that already? Because there's always a reason why you're not doing that. So I trust that this has been helpful, guys. If you've liked it, please like, subscribe, share with your mates. I'd just love to get the message out there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next podcast. Bye for now.